Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can use CMS to connect it to multiple pages and why it's so easy to use CMS inside of Wix. So if you don't know what CMS is, then it's over here on the left-hand side, and I'm inside of Wix Studio, the advanced editor from Wix. So you click over here on the left-hand side, and this is the Manage Content with CMS, which just stands for their content management system. It allows you to create dynamic content so you don't have to go in and always manually update your site. So you have to turn this on to start using it. But one thing I want to point out is before you turn it on, you only have these two icons up here on the design panel. So you only have the design and the animations. Once you turn on CMS, you get another panel that's a connector panel that will allow you to connect the CMS and do some different things with it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to click Start Now, and it's going to start turning on the CMS for me. So now I have that, and over here you'll notice that right away I have the CMS connections panel. This is going to become important later on in the video, and I'm going to show you how you can use this to connect your CMS onto different pages. And this is a better experience, in my opinion, a much easier experience than some of the other website builders out there have for CMS, because you can connect it to any page you want, and then all the fields become available to you, and you can use them in multiple places. So I'm going to go ahead and click create my collection here. So your collection is just a database of items. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say create with AI. I'm going to click next, and I want to create a team members section. And I'm just going to type in team members and say I want a few team members with their info, team members for name, title, etc. Okay, I'm going to click next, and AI is going to go to work and start creating my collection. Now you can create it manually or you can import it, but I'm going to let it do this here just for this example. So it's giving me these examples. This is perfect. I'm going to say generate content because I want it to add sample content. So I'm going to say create collection, and it's going to create my database here with all the different items in it, giving me some sample data, which is perfect for this example that I want to show. So right here, I have my team members, Allison, Bob, Carla, David, Eva, everything's set up here. So now I'm going to go ahead and start connecting this to my website. So this is just a wireframe of a website. There's nothing here yet, but I'm going to go in and start building this out. And on the About Us page, there's a section for team members. So down here, meet our experts. This is the perfect section right here to use CMS. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to, because it's a repeater is one of the reasons it's the perfect section, but I'm going to go in and connect my data set to this page. That's the first thing I have to do. I'm on the About Us page. I have to go in and connect my data set. So I'm going to say add data set here. And then I have to choose the team members one I just created. I'm going to say create. And now I have this data set connected here. So I went over to this connector tool, added the team members. Now it's connected. And now when I click into this repeater and go to this specific image, I can connect this image to a data set. So I'm going to connect it to the team members data set. And pretty soon here, it should show up for me. Let me try that again. So on the image, now I have to click the image source. So profile photo, and then it's pulling in the profile photo dynamically. It added a fifth one here for me because there's 5 in my collection. So it's going to show that it's going to match what's in my collection because it's a repeater. So I can go and show you that in a second, how you can edit that if you want to have less or only have certain team members showing. So then I would come down here to the next field, which is the text field. I click this little connect to CMS icon. I'm going to say I want to connect it to full name, and then that updated dynamically. And then I'm going to, I'm not sure what James was here. Maybe that was last name. I might take that field out. So I'm going to go here to text, job title. Boom. So these job titles don't really match the focus of this website, the tree website, but that's okay for now. And then the social bar, don't really need it. The second field, don't really need it. So now I have team members connected here. So now when I go back to my CMS, if I change any of these settings in here, it's going to change in real time on the website. So for example, I only want 4. So I'm going to change this to hidden. And that one's hidden. I'm going to change the title here to business owner, and go back and see what happened here on the front end. So right away, that fourth one disappeared because I made it hidden instead of visible. I changed this title to business owner David Lee, and it updated. So you can connect these data sets here. Let me go back to the page itself. So I'm on the page and I have my data set connected. I should be able to use this in other places too. If I wanted to use, something from this team members data set here with this text field, I can put it here. It might not work the same way exactly because this isn't in a repeater, but let's just show you that example. So it connected to the job title. So this is what I love about Wix CMS is that once I've connected this data set to this page, I can use it in so many different places. And let's say that I had a main heading place in my collection that I could edit this, then I could make sure that this was updated to through the same collection. Now, a lot of times what ends up happening is if you have different collections that need to perform different functions, then you go in and create a second collection. So if I had a main heading collection that I wanted to use for that main heading, I would go in here and create something new because each of these has its own item. And so it's working off the item. But that's what's so cool about Wix CMS is that you can do so many things with it and you can just connect it to several pages. So now that I have it on the About page, I can also go in and connect it to the home page if I wanted to. So let me go back here to the home page. I could do the same thing. I just add a data set, choose team members, create it, and here it is. And then I can connect my team members to this page too, or whatever page I want on the website just by going here and adding that CMS connection. And I can have multiple data sets. So let's say that I had a data set called testimonials. Come in here again, collections. I'm going to create a new collection, create with AI. I'm going to call this testimonials, words from our happy clients. Okay, and then it's going to go to work creating this for me. And then I could use this same one here. I'm going to go ahead and generate content. And it's going to do what it did for me before. It's going to create the collection. Everything's all set up. And then I'm going to go in and connect this data set too. So I'm on the home page. I want something for what our clients say here. So I'm going to add a new data set down here at the bottom. Go to testimonials, create data set, and then I just have to connect this here to a field. So I'll connect it to the data set here, testimonials data set. I'm going to connect it to, and right away I got more than 3 because there's 5 in my collection. If we open up my collection, you'll see that there's 5. I'm going to bring this back down to 3 a different way. I'll show you in a second how you could do that. I'm going to change this customer rating to 5 and show you how you can do that. So I have my testimonials one here. I'm going to connect this to the testimonial text. That should have all updated. I'm going to connect this to the name here. Customer name. Bam. This one, testimonial date. Boom. So now I've got a testimonial section, and now I'm going to create a filter on this. So I'm going to come in here to my data set settings. So what I did is right above this section here, you have data set settings. This gets you back into the data set itself. You can set the items per load. So one way I could filter this is I could do 3, and that would filter it down to 3, and then I could add a load more button. Another way I could do it is I can add a custom filter. So I could say, hey, I want to only show the testimonials where the rating is a 5 equals 5. So the highest rating, add filter. And because there's 3 in my filter here, because there's 3 of these testimonials that have a rating of 5, it's only going to show those 5 on that page. So there's multiple ways you can filter this. There's multiple ways you can customize it to however you need it to work. But the most powerful thing is you can manage website content dynamically instead of static using CMS. And what I love about this, because I recently did a project in another builder and it was kind of driving me nuts, is that all I have to do is connect the data set to this page. And then I can start using it here wherever I want to. I'm not limited to only using it in certain sections. I can use it over and over again if I want to, in multiple sections on the same page, on multiple pages, wherever I want. I just have to know how to set it up the correct way and connect it through that connector piece there. So when I come back to the layers panel, I just have to make sure that these testimonial data sets are connected. The other thing I can do, which I haven't really shown in this video and I probably won't show, is that you can create dynamic pages. So these specific page types only are available once you enable CMS, and they give you the option to create dynamic pages. So a list page, an item page, a blank page, a managed content page. And this is for if you want to list all of the items in your collection. This one's for if you want a specific page for each item in your collection. So for the team members, if I wanted each team member to have their own page. This is a blank one where you can create whatever you want. And then the manage content one is where you can have a place to manage the items inside of your collection, or you can have other people do that depending on how you set things up. So there's those options too. But even without those options, you don't have to use those options. You don't have to create dynamic pages. If you have CMS data sets, if you have CMS collections in here, you can connect these to any pages you want and have dynamic sections. So I would call this section a dynamic section because there are components of it here that are dynamic: the testimonial text, the name, and the date. If you go back to our about page, I would call this about team members section, this little part of the website here, dynamic, because it's managed through our content management system. And for team members, if you ever had somebody who left, an employee who left the company, or you hired someone new, then to go in and add, all you have to do is go in here and add it, change the status, and it's going to show that person here. I don't know if I actually saved that in the visible. Let me go back. I was in the wrong collection. So let me go to team members. So I did not show it here. So change it to show. Now it's visible. And then on the front end, boom, it shows up right here. So it just makes managing the content so much easier when you need to make updates to it, or when you need to take team members down, or add team members, or add testimonials, remove testimonials. That's the whole idea behind CMS. So hope you found this video helpful. I really wanted to show that the one main point, that you can connect this to any page and you're not limited into where it has to go. You can put it here. You could put, if you had another team member section up here, you could put it there again. You can have multiple data sets like we did on the homepage. And there's really no limit, as far as I know, to how many data sets you can have on a page. So we have 2 here. You could have more if you needed to have more. Really powerful stuff. I've done a lot of CMS tutorials. So if there's other questions that you have, I'm sure you can find it in some of those videos, but I keep learning more about it and keep seeing the value. And Wix Studio does a great job of making it straightforward, making it easy to use compared to some of the other tools that I've seen. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next video.